Yeah. It's
So
well, it's the 25th anniversary this year. So that's kind of why I was on, doing a lot of interviews and things just to kind of celebrate it. And I actually have a couple things I'm doing that are what I did all day today was I was working on sound files for a thing that I'm going to do a Kickstarter on in about a month or so. And it's basically called the Bop It button. It was that, did you hear that? Is that my sound? Oh, I heard a big beep on my thing. So there's this guy, and I've always kind of looked at just the button Bop It, and so this is a prototype. That's why it's got a little thing hanging out here, but it's basically just like the button, like one of those easy buttons where you stick it on your desk. So you can just have it there, and if you want to, you just walk up and touch it. And
Yo, let me slow it down for you, Bob.
Right. So you can just, you don't have to do anything but just press it to hear.
Yo, fantastic, my man.
Right. One of it, and this is the new voice 10 years ago, 12 years ago. So a lot of the kids who didn't grow up with it think this is the voice of Bop It, and then other people hear, oh no, it's this other guy. So there's
other guy.
Kind of start another Mandela effect.
Yeah. So you can just press it, or if you keep pressing it, of course, it's just one button, but here, I'll show you.
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it.
It says don't bop
it.
Bop it.
All right, now I'm getting tired.
So
when you try, score 14.
So it keeps track, and if you hold it down,
high score 29. Master score 94.
So that's this one isn't as impressive as some of them. Some of them I've been testing. It goes up to 1 million. Not that anyone will ever get that high, but it's the idea that no one will ever probably. You can always beat someone's high score, but it's like a marathon game. You can beat it at 2,500 to celebrate 25 years. It's like 100 moves per year. The highest the Bop It's gone before this is basically 250, or it depends which one. There's a bunch of other kind of the Bop It Tetris and Bop It Smash that went higher, but this one doesn't have a high, like an end to it.
Do you hold the high score of your own Bop It, or
well, you can't. The thing is, there is no way to go higher, like on a Bop It Extreme.
Yeah,
this one I think only went to 250, and I definitely can do that just because playing it, and the regular Bop It only went to 100. So it was designed so that you could beat it and feel good about it, but just hard enough that it took you, long enough.
Wow.
But then a lot of people complain. They go, why doesn't it go higher? So I go, all right, how about 1 million?
I'll help you. All right, you want higher?
And I'm kind of proud of saying, I like to say, if I could say what is Bop, I'd say it's the most annoying game in the world, to listen to. So I kind of am proud of that. I designed and created the most annoying game, and somehow millions of people still played it. So this is a real test. This is like, because all it does is say Bop It, don't Bop It. But if you hear it, it's got all these different voices. So what this is I've been spending weeks taking all the sound files from all the Bop It's over 25 years, and I've got not all of them, but like the one you like, the one you played, the Bop It Extreme, that guy's voice is in it a little bit. There's a little, so I'm basically making it a thing that as you play it, it unlocks kind of the history. So you keep bopping it, and you have to go up to 2,500.
That's cool. That's cool.
Right, to hear all the stuff. And then I've got some surprise Easter eggs in there and some things. So it takes 2 hours straight to beat it. but I know there's a lot of people out there that probably spend 8 hours sitting in front of their Xbox, so it's nothing.
Be surprised. Somebody out there somewhere will spend hours getting to that million.
but you really have to be careful, because it gets very tricky. Like at some point it'll go don't, and then I have this little thing. It goes tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Bop it. So it said don't bop it, but you have to remember, because if you just hear the word bop it, you want to bop it. But so it's a totally different idea, just having fun and playing with it. And I don't know, that's why I'm doing it as a Kickstarter. It's not what I'm doing with Hasbro is a big launch. It's really just for fans that grew up with it, loved it, and mainly you just want this on your desk so you can just hit it and hear something. But if you care to play it, I think it's going to get a lot of people sort of into it and comparing their scores and, oh, look what I found. And then I've got a very special message. If you get 2,500, a personal message in my voice from me.
Nice.
And I won't tell you what that is, but
That's cool.
that's your reward. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of the other games as well, but and there's this one. Oh, I should show. What do you guys think? So a lot of people, you guys are nice classic. A lot of people think this is the original Bop It. Like
No,
if
I
they're,
know that's not.
yeah, it isn't. But you know how many people, 20 somethings, they go, I'll show them. They go, that's not the original Bop It. They're arguing with me online. So I think I would know. And they're like, no, that's not the original. That came after. The white one's the original. I'm like, all right. So this is the kind of the version of this guy. So you can buy it. So I'm saying, why should I argue? I'll let you get either one. And
that's clean though.
They're the same. It is cool, isn't it?
Very clean.
And so they do the same thing, but that's kind of the start of this Bop It button this year, and one way to commemorate for me, I was just trying to, and by the way, all the proceeds are going to some really good causes. So that was my way of kind of giving back after 25 years of luck.
So with the voice of the Bop It, did you have any part of choosing that? Because or was that just all Hasbro? And like, how did you react to, like, I guess, hearing like like the whole process of that? Like, how was that?
On some of the Bop Its I have two partners that run the kind of production side of things, and they we've done a lot of the development on the recent Bop Its and recorded voice. And one of them, there was one called Bop It Beats that had a kind of a DJ voice in it. That was a different voice, and that was someone local in San Francisco. And we kind of, this most recent, or the one that's now 10 years old, Buddy Rubino, he's become a great friend. If you look on my social media, I have him do all sorts of funny stuff so that it sounds like the Bop It saying things that you never heard before. And it's arguing with me and things like that. I'm kind of developing this relationship. And he was someone that kind of had I didn't interview him, but we kind of had a final selection that they were talking about, because at that point I'd been working on Bop It for 10 years when we picked the new voice. But for the original voice, it was actually the industrial designer who worked at Hasbro, Bob Welsh is his name, and the only words in this are Bop It, Twist It, Pull It. All the other Bop Its have lots. That's all it said. So he just put his voice in there. And I'm actually, I'll give away one little Easter egg. So I called him up, and his voice is one of the Bop Its in here. So I'm trying to say the original guy, the later guy, my voice. I even put my dad's voice in there. So, it's kind of been kind of amazing how a product that takes this much audio, you can do a lot with.
Yeah. That's a fact.
That is very true.
Somebody had asked, what were one of your, I guess, favorite childhood games?
Games, pretty simple. Actually, when I think about that, the most fun I had, there were two things. Like with friends or my siblings, it was Mousetrap, which would make sense because of all the gadgets, and it's think of Perplexus and think of Bop It.
For real.
Right.
Yeah,
that was that's like a contraption, so I was very attracted to it. But what I love playing, like my dad plays cribbage. Have you ever played cribbage? Card game with the little board it's like this really simple card game, but it's very interactive. Like you really have to read each other, and I don't know why, but he's 96 and we still play.
Wow.
Oh, I know what this is. Okay.
Cribbage board.
I've seen it, but I've never known what that was.
It's pretty simple. It's it's simpler than a lot of these, it's not like bridge or something. It's just real. There's just something about the the rhythm of it. And what's interesting is my wife's dad taught her cribbage. She used to play with her dad too. So it was one of the games we play together. And with all the choices of games, you'd think there'd be more, but yeah, that's cribbage.
I've always seen this, but
I've always seen that. I've never known in the game.
You go, what is that? Yeah.
I didn't even know this was a card game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's
So,
cool.
but for games, I think cards in general are just one of the most interactive. They make same kind of concept of Bop It in a very totally doesn't make sense at first, but how Bop It animates the people, it kind of makes them move and makes them the star. I believe that why cards are so good is because it does the same. Like when you're sitting around a table, you're passing the card, you're looking at people's faces, you're thinking, there's a lot of right. It kind of creates an event with the simplest thing, so you're not distracted by the gadget. You're really thinking about the people.
Yeah,
and I think that's why I like games like that.
One of my first card games was Pity Pat, and my cousins they cheated me out of all my money. I still remember
that. Yeah, that's definitely cards are amazing.
Somebody had asked, what's your favorite version of Bop It?
Boy, it's so hard. I actually think in terms of the most this one here, which was Bop It Extreme 2.
Okay.
It's kind of like the one you had but this was sort of this breakthrough where we added a lot more music. It had like this cool bass line. It had a headphone jack, which I really insisted on, so you could plug it in through headphones and hear this like subwoofer audio. It's really a cool product, and people who have one swear by it, and they're like, bring it back. There is a new one coming out. We can't put headphone jacks and things anymore. It's too expensive, and people, then you got to go to Bluetooth and all this. And everyone says they want it, and you say, so it's okay if it's $35 instead of $25, and they go, no. Yeah. So that's why you don't see headphone jacks, and it's just too expensive. But this had a headphone jack.
I didn't know one of those had a headphone jack.
It also had, it has a headphone jack, and it's got this cool game where, see how it's yellow on one side and green on the other?
Yeah.
What it does is it's got this one-on-one game. That's why I asked if you guys are in the same place. Here, I'm going to put this between you guys here. Hold on. So if you can imagine, if Malcolm was this side, this side, Malcolm would have the twist it and the pull it.
Pull it, yeah.
And then Clint, you would have the spin it and the flick it.
Yeah.
Right. And see how this is green. So you have to hit. It's weird because it's all reversed. You have to hit the green. When it says Bop It, you have to hit the green Bop It.
Yeah.
And when it's and the other side is yellow. So when it says Bop It, Malcolm would have to hit the yellow Bop It. So you're basically playing to 5. And what you're trying to do is the first person to get 5 Bop Its wins. It's super competitive, really cool. And the new Bop It Extreme, there is one of these coming out, not as robust as this, but that game is going to be in the newest one coming out this fall, because we felt like I was really excited about that at the time because it was really competitive. Like, it's one thing to just bop it, but when there's a time limit and you're trying to beat the other person, it gets incredibly competitive.
And anxiety starts turning in.
So that is what I like this one the most, for that reason, because it had that game, and the audio design in this is just fantastic. It's got, as you progress, all these beats keep changing. There's so much into it, it's kind of above and beyond what was needed, but really cool.